Alright, looks like I'm the first run of Thursday NES block today. My name's Jammitch. First AGDQ, not my first GDQ. Want to do some Wario's Woods, which launch is kind of in quotes with Wario's Woods, as always. It's a great game. It's a rough speed run because we're beholden to RNG, but we're going to do the bosses because you never get to see the bosses. So we're going to do 50 rounds of Type B because we can. So let's get started in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so the first so many stages are, I wouldn't say scripted, but they're very close to scripted. We don't have a lot going on, so basic mechanics of the game is we need to line up these enemies with these bombs. We need at least 3 things in a row. They can be enemies or bombs, but we need at least 1 bomb. And if we do that, we will blow up the enemies. We blow up all the enemies off the screen, and we can move on. We made a chain of 5 there. That gets us a diamond. The diamond completely clears a color. Here, we're going to get this one quick. We got a great bomb there. By getting rid of the whites, we guarantee that the diamond will be green, which gets us out of the stage very quickly. Lost input there. We got good behavior on that one. We did not get an orange bomb. The orange bomb would have gave us a chance to get an orange diamond there, which is not what we want. Looks good. There we go. If we can clear the entire screen with no leftover bombs, we save a little bit of time. Not a huge deal, but we would like to do it whenever we can. That's a little bit of an unfortunate diamond. But the main thing we're going to be doing throughout the run is trying to control the colors we see. And now, every round that ends in 9, we're going to get a boss fight, which is the unique feature of the NES version of this game. Alright, if we can get 1 more blue bomb, we can do a kind of quick kill here. We got it, there we go, we can one-shot him. I'll explain a little more how that works when we get to the point where the game isn't moving quite so fast. Now we get a little cutscene, and Wario is going to threaten us, and we're just going to ignore him and move on. Alright, but every stage has 2 different patterns to it, and this stage we got the one we wanted to see. Please be blue. We got a red diamond. We're not happy about that. We got a good bomb that kind of offset it. I would call that a pretty good 10. But because that red bomb was hanging around, we had a risk of getting a red diamond, and unfortunately we got it. This is also the better of the 2 patterns that we could get for round 11, and we got very cooperative bombs. The game is actually being nice. That is not going to last. We got a white bomb first, so we're going to set this up. We're going to try to get rid of white. This is going to force a diamond, and we know the diamond won't be white. Unfortunately, green is maybe not what we wanted, so now we have to deal with the risk of those green bombs showing up, which is why I say this game is all about color management. We're starting to get stages that aren't quite as fast, so maybe I'll get a chance to actually explain the rest of the game here. That's a little annoying. See if we can get rid of blue. Now we get to see Wario's Woods doing what it does, which is respawning colors we don't want. And here I think I'm getting rid of orange. I can't get rid of orange, and that's what we call a dead diamond because that doesn't help us. We just need to farm some pinks. I can still get rid of colors like this, and that will guarantee that I get the right bomb eventually. It just costs us a little time to clean everything up. Here we see our first hard enemy. All of these other enemies have been single bomb to clear. These enemies here actually take 2 bombs to clear. We have to hit them with red, and then they're going to turn white. And fortunately, we don't have any more reds hanging around, but we are stuck waiting on a white. We got some pretty bad bomb RNG there. I'm going to see a few other advanced enemy types throughout this run. Unfortunately, I don't remember their names. They all have silly names in the manual. You'll have to look those up on your own. There we got a really nice pattern to get a quick kill on that color. And we got everything set up there the way we wanted. That was a really good stage. Alright, stage 16. We're going to take advantage of the setups that are lined up for us here to be able to get red off the board. I'm holding down to speed up the rate at which the bombs fall. We have to be very careful about how we do that. because if we spawn too many bombs, we have the risk of getting the bombs of the wrong color coming in, and that can resurrect colors we don't want. Stage 17 really only has this one pattern, so we always get the same thing. In this stage, we're really hoping that the game, A, doesn't respawn colors like that. We're going to let that settle down so we can get rid of it. And B, we're hoping that we get to clear out the colors on the sides of the screen first to keep our mobility up. We are not getting that luxury right now. Bring this over here. You also saw me do a kick move in there. If I hold down and press A next to an enemy, we can kick a bomb. Alright, I don't want that there. We can kick an enemy or a bomb out of the way like that. Thank you. Thank you. That will bail us out. Now we don't have to do 2 hits on those, and we farmed another diamond, and it wasn't the wrong color. Second boss. See what we can get here. So with the bosses, we need to make a line of bombs or enemies into them. But there's a few ways we can deal a little extra damage. One is to use only bombs. We need one more hit on him. If I could just get up here, we could do it. Alright, we need one more hit. That'll get us out. So, if we make a line that's only bombs, it actually counts double. So, a line of 3 will do 1 heart, a line of 4 will do 2 hearts, I believe a line of 5 will do 4 hearts. And it can get even higher than that, but you need enemies to do it, because 5 is the max you can do with only bombs. Then, if you do only bombs, the damage is doubled. And we can also trick the game into thinking that we're making a gravity chain, which will double it further, and we'll take advantage of that on some of the later boss fights here. So there is a really short category of this that ends at stage 20. That is a pure RNG fest, because we're just grinding out to get good RNG, because all these stages are so fast. 50 stages is where the real meat of this game starts to happen. Alright. Grab that just a little bit early. Let's see, can I set this up? We're gonna set up a diamond. No, we're not. We're gonna miss the diamond setup. But we're gonna get a quick clear on the greens. They're off the board. Not the color I wanted, maybe, but let's see what we get. Alright. Let's see if we can get rid of this. I didn't want to set that combo up. There we go. We'll get into some of the actual hard stages of this run. They're coming up. Throw this up here. We want to set those up in that specific pattern because it's going to quickly get all the reds off the board. And again, everything we do in this game is all about getting rid of as many colors as possible as quickly as possible. Alright. There we go. Good stage. So we got these 2-hit enemies again, and there's nothing we can really do in this stage to help ourselves in terms of getting diamonds, and we got some pretty bad bomb RNG there, so we had to do a little extra work to get that color cleared. Alright, we're getting some of the enemies off the screen at least. Let's do a little juggle. I do not like that we got another blue there. Alright, we at least got some options. I'm trying to move around everything here. It's kind of getting all in my way. I'm not surprised that was blue. And here we get to see Wario. So I haven't even mentioned that mechanic yet because it hasn't come up. We got that meter on the top right corner of the screen that is going to count down while Birdo's on the screen. As long as Birdo's on the screen, only bombs will drop. When Wario shows up, Wario will start spawning enemies in addition to bombs, which can be even more disruptive than just dealing with the bombs. Alright, what do we got here? Bad bomb. This should get a color off the board, and now all we need is one orange, and we'll be done. So while the goal of the speedrun is not to stay out of Wario time, being in Wario time does cost us time, so it's definitely not something we want to do either. Alright. Not set that there. Let's get a couple of colors off the board, just like that. Alright, now if I could set this up to make a chain, unfortunately, we're going to have the extra color, and we're going to get a bad diamond. I made my choice. Alright, these are also kind of obnoxiously set up. The SNES version, you can pick up and move diamonds. The NES version, you cannot do that. So this is going to be a thorn in our side until we can get rid of it. So this is an ugly, ugly setup right now. Those blue bombs being on screen mean that we could have the game respawn the 2-hit enemies on us. So we're just kind of hoping it won't do that until we can get away with that. Alright, that could have gone bad. We survived. Alright. This stage has a few nice diamond setups here. We're going to take this diagonal before that one falls down. There we go. Unfortunately, we got the same diamond twice, but at least it all cleared off the board. Let's get red off the board. Let's get orange off the board. And now just need to farm 2 bombs. There we go. If you try to exit just a little too early, Toad will run up the wall, and that drives me up the wall. So here we have another new enemy type. These enemies require that you activate them with 2 bombs. They don't change colors like the others. They will start flashing. And then we send a second bomb in, and that actually gets rid of it. They will stop flashing, so you have to actually kill them on a timer. I'd love to see if we could farm a pink there. We got this diamond set up. That'll get 1 color off the board. I don't like leaving that single blue there, but kind of the best we can do right now. Farm another diamond. Alright. Alright, we got good bombs. 1 more boss fight. Here we have a mermaid. And this is the first one where we might actually see the boss move around because I can't get around to killing it quite fast enough. I guess we'll see how that goes. Right. I'm gonna drop this down here. And that stole some of my ammo. Which is my own fault for not paying enough attention. I'm holding out for another orange bomb down here, but we need to get it over there. Oh, okay. He's gonna freeze our fairy friend. And we're gonna have to take a second cycle. We need to farm some more bombs here. We have a little less room to work with once it sets up into this position. 1 more all-bomb chain would do it. That's not gonna work. This is the danger of the boss mode. Unlucky bombs or mistakes can really punish you here. Alright, if we could just get 1 more orange, maybe, we could get out of here. This, if I can grab it, that will finish it. There we go. That boss is 1-cyclable, especially if you can get on top of it. If you can get on top of it, there's a little trick we can do that can trick the game into thinking that we've hit it with a bigger chain than we actually have. Oh, I love getting that extra bomb there. Normally you don't like getting flooded, but that extra bomb gives us a diamond setup. We will take that. Notice we can pick up either the entire stack or just a single enemy at a time. Taking advantage of that to rearrange things. Game is a sorting simulator. Good diamond there. Alright, stage 31 is one of the most obnoxious ones in this run. This first bomb is useful, and I got there before it had a chance to respawn that color. Alright, I don't really like that bomb took out that chain, because what happens with that, it increases the odds that we get... It thins out our diamond chances into more different colors. And the game also really does not want to spawn anything but blue right now. That was a really good 31, though. That stage is really mean. We did get a good diamond. What we want on a stage like that is for the diamond to line up with the colors that we happen to need anyway. And there you see it respawn the pink. As soon as I was ready to clear it, it respawned. Alright. We're gonna chip away at this kind of step by step here. Alright. Stuff is kinda in my way. So this, funnily enough, gives us a diamond opportunity. If it's red, it would be helpful. We're gonna see Wario. Alright. 1 more orange. Alright. Now the game has to give us the right color. But we're not gonna get that in enough time to avoid having an enemy spawn. We don't have to clear all the bombs, we do just have to clear all the enemies. Alright, we'd love to get a white bomb here. That can work. We can work with this. What do we get? Not buried either. Alright. When that bomb's about to spawn, it is worth taking a look and making sure that it is not going to resurrect the color that you've been trying to get rid of. Here's another diamond. That's good. Don't really like that, but we got what we got. 1, 2. This will get us a diamond of the right color. Nice bomb there. And you may notice that we are over halfway through the number of stages and not halfway through the estimate. Everything in this game gets exponentially larger as more things get added to each stage. Alright, we're going to set up a diamond using our arms to support it. I did not love that white diamond there. It's not in a good position. And we still have these dead oranges. Let's get white off the board. Alright, I am not enamored with that. Alright, we're gonna... Game is being mean. Let's clean that. Alright. Alright, we're down to at least 2 colors now. Just need to farm a pink, that'll do. Alright. We got the good pattern on this one with the nice, easy vertical stacks. We just have to do a little bit of reshuffling to make it all work. I'm going to get rid of that first because it's going to let this be a full color clear. Okay, we got one of the hard enemies off the board. Unfortunately, that's a respawn. That's not going to be blue. Hoping this is blue. It's not. If we can get 2 blue bombs, we can get out of here, because we need 2 hits on these. We really wanted the blue diamond, so we wouldn't have to hit that one twice. Alright. Alright, I'm going to try to set up a combo in this pit. It's a great place to do some construction, and I like to call that the diamond back, when it gives me the color I just cleared. It's not what we want, because we just removed half of the enemies of that type from the board. We'd really like to get something else. Alright, this is, again, kind of obnoxious colors. We should be able to get a complete green kill right there. If I can move fast enough, we can get rid of everything here, and it won't respawn another bomb. That was nice. Alright, let's see here. Can I... Yeah, we just need to throw this up here. Eat that. Diamond. A lot of what we're doing is trying to find the diamonds, and especially find the diamonds that work with the bombs the game is deciding to get us. There's a nice green setup just waiting. Now I'm going to take the risk. You kind of would prefer to clear the greens because before making another diamond, because otherwise that happens. You get 2 diamonds of the same color, which isn't helpful. But if you wait too long, colors respawn, so you're just playing a gambling game if you don't kill things quickly. Alright, we need 1 pink. That'll do. Alright, we got this. We got these new enemies. These enemies can only be cleared with diagonal chains, so... We did get a diamond. We would have loved it to have been the diagonal color, because again, those are the enemies that are most obnoxious to deal with, but... There's no real way to manip any of that, so you just take what you get and make the best of it. I would really like to get rid of all this before it respawns. Alright. Looking good. And now we have our penultimate boss. I'm gonna use some $10 words over here. Alright. So, I would really like to get this over here. That chain is 4 long, it will do 2 damage. Again, the fastest way to get through this involves stacking bombs on top of the enemy, but it's definitely trickier to do than the approach I'm doing, so we're kind of playing the more consistent approach here. He's gonna slam the ceiling down on us, which is something Wario can do, but we haven't seen Wario actually do it yet. Alright, this corner's dead. There's no room to work with over there. Alright. One more green. Cool, we can get under it, and we're done. Alright, one more. Another cutscene. Wario's surprisingly conciliatory there. Alright, stage 40 is a total mess. None of these colors line up with anything. So we're going to do our best to dig things out here. Alright, we have too many greens, so rather than trying to get all the greens off the screen in one go, I'm going to do it step by step here. We need one more green either way at this point. Alright. Drop that. And then I'm trying to avoid having single enemies of a color here, because that's ultimately going to cost me more bombs than it would save. If I could clear 4 guys off the screen, I might even be able to force a diamond, but it's going to, in the long run, be more expensive. Alright. So when I make that chain there, it's actually going to adjust the timer on the screen on the top right corner. If I make a chain during Birdo time, it's going to reduce the time. It's going to roll back the timer so I get more Birdo time. If I make it during Wario time, it's going to increase the timer so that I get less Wario time. So it's whatever's favorable to you in the current situation. Kind of getting a bunch of nonsense. We're trying to farm this one and see if we can get something good. That is not the color we want. It's okay that we left a dead bomb on the screen there. That's annoying that we have that dead bomb, but can't really do that much about it. Now, unfortunately, we are going to hit bad time. This is one of the most brutal stages in the first 50. 41 and 48 are known to be the run-killing stages, so we shouldn't be surprised. Alright, we have all the light blues off the screen, but dark blue is still very much a potential problem here. Alright, can I make this work? It will get us a diamond if I can control it properly. Okay, we got the dark blues off the screen. The game cannot respawn dark blue on us anymore, which is very important. Alright, can I just get another red? That would be very helpful. Alright, I'm just gonna move on from that. Alright. So this is gonna make a chain as the color is gonna change on that. Alright. We got through that obnoxious stage. Now, this is another one where things don't line up super great for us. We do have a diamond build here, though, so let's take it. That's not good. Not a good diamond. Get rid of that. And there it resurrected that color. Which is, again, not what we were hoping. That's the way the woods crumbles. Alright. Alright. One color down. So we're just going to focus on trying to get rid of these colors. This little bit obnoxious in the corner. I'm not in a great position to really clear that color. There's a diamond there, but again, I'm trying to avoid leaving orphans. Alright. See what we get. That's unfortunate diamonds again. It'll take us a little minute to get out of this one. Alright. Alright. Down to one color. Gonna have to run all the way over here, but every once in a while you just get a bad stage in this game. Even if the stage should be easy, you just get a bad one. Alright, we are waiting for either a green or a red. We got the green. That'll be a diamond. I'm gonna take a second diamond here. Like so. We want to... Okay, we want to grab this other pink. We are trying... Hey, this is actually a good setup. That'll get us 2 sets cleared out at once. And then I'm trying to maybe force a diamond there. Did not do it. So now, unfortunately, we didn't get a good diamond to clear out these enemies on time, so now we have to kind of wait for enough bombs to force a diagonal on it. Alright. We get a nice setup right here. I'm going to take a second one. Like I said, it's a little risky. We didn't get a green, so that's good. There we go. That's good. What do we got here? Okay. Let's see if I can move fast enough. Dig this one out. Unfortunately not. It decided to flood us. Get these 3. Alright, we got just a couple of colors left. Alright. Okay, it did not respawn another enemy. Could have been a lot worse. Alright. This is actually a good stage to get a diamond set up, but we do need some... we need some assistance on it. What do we get? Green is maybe not the best diamond there, but we'll work with it. We'll work towards another one. I mentioned there that that chain is going to reset my counters. Going to help us in the long run. Alright. I want to get some more colors off the screen. I'm trying to set up here to get a red diamond. I don't want to go too fast here. If I hit those blues, it will reset the timer on the reds, so we can take advantage of that to help keep the timer going so we don't have to start from scratch. I am just not able to get rid of any of this. Okay. 45 is another tough stage, but 48 is the real killer of the run, so we'll see that when that comes up. Alright. Just keep farming diamonds. What do we got? I am not a fan of what is on offer here. This is some pretty bad bombs. Alright. What I want to do right now is try to get these colors off the screen. I think that's priority 1. Alright, we're good now. We don't really care that it spawned another enemy because we have the diamond. Yeah. See if I care. Alright. Alright, we got a setup. Take it. Red. We got another pink setup over here. I'm gonna work with that. Green is maybe not what I wanted, mostly because I think I could have forced another diamond out of it. Do a little bit of a wiggle there. Throw things in every direction. Alright. That's fine. We're gonna need 2 bombs to clear this anyway. This will force a pink diamond. Let's kick. And now stage 48. Let's pray to the RNG gods for a moment here. I need a bomb. I'm gonna need enough to make one of these stacks force a diamond, so I'm gonna need a second bomb. What do we get? Not what we wanted. We got one more shot to make this work. Unfortunately, we did set off those light blues, so we have a risk of getting a light blue diamond. Game said no, and it also respawned the color. So, we have to take the slow road here. Sometimes you lose without making any mistakes. That's not weakness, that is life. Alright, there we go. That's a functional diamond. And we now have the death enemies off the screen. So, that... For a bad stage, that's pretty good. Alright. We still have the risk of an enemy respawning. Alright, here's our final boss. Not of the game, but of this run, because probably don't need to see me play this for another hour. But we could! We could. Alright. We're going to try to pick up a few hits down here. Again, this is kind of the safe strat. If we work on top of his head, we can maybe deal more damage. But, risky. This should deal 4 hits, though, so... He's going to spawn a large chain of the same color of enemies, and it's possible to use to take advantage of this to deal a lot of damage, but it's not trivial. One light blue here. Now, it wasn't driven quite right into him, so I need to be able to... Okay, I need to be able to get up on his head here, or this'll do. That'll get us out. Alright. I was gonna hug him, but he's up in the sky. Alright, so for historical reasons, it doesn't end at this cutscene. Type A ends at stage 50, because that was arbitrarily decided, and since this is in parallel with that, we're gonna play stage 50. It would make sense for it to end there, but it doesn't. We did get the good pattern on this stage. This is the much better option, and the game respawned the color as soon as I cleared it. Alright. At least we got rid of it. Orange is still hanging around, though. Not loving these colors either. Wow. Being mean. What do we get? Alright, that'll get stuff off the board. This isn't going to clear the color, but it's really, really in my way. Alright. Alright. Alright, can I get a white? No. And not only can I can't get a white, and I can get something blocking me from turning this into a diamond. Run under the diamond, and time. I just step onto the next stage as a force of habit, because normally you continue this on to 99. Alright. Alright. Thank y'all for having me.